Baseball fans rejoice. Drunks in the Pond is back for another random week of rumors, truths, facts, and most importantly, drinks with the boys. A name not heard in quite some time is making I won't call it a comeback just yet. Yeah, you guessed it, Neftali Feliz signed a minor league deal with the Mariners. The 37-year-old was last in the majors with a total of 4 innings, 3 for the Dodgers and 1 for the Phils in 2021. I don't remember that. Speaking of the olds, Mad Max officially is signed with Toronto for 1 year, $15.5 million. And all the poutine his different eyes can see. So, yeah. All of him for 2026. Ooh. Moving on. Who wants home plate season tickets for the Pirates? Not the person who won them. Is San Diego okay? I mean, literally, are they okay? The ownership, the front office is seemingly at odds and on the brink of trading their 2 top starters. Listen, dads. How about trading one of your 11 shortstops? You have an excess of that. You need pitching. Less than 2 weeks till pitchers and catchers report. 2 corner infielders are still homeless. Get on Parker and some 7-Eleven scraps. We are Drunks in the Pond. Don't forget to like, sub, follow, comment, crack one open because, stay drunk.
Here we go. Drunks on the Pond, episode 39, coming to you live. You know who it is. It's me, Rich, Damon. And boys, I have great news. This episode of The Bachelorette is officially over. Roki Sasaki has found a home, and you know exactly where it is. Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, just to make a quick comment, I don't think any of us are terribly surprised on where he ended up. I think for the most part, we all kind of knew it, but we were just waiting for it. I think what caught us more off guard was how fast Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates immediately also jumped onto the Dodgers after that signing. I mean, so yeah, the Dodgers are an official powerhouse and obviously the clear favorites to win the World Series. But what's not really being discussed is the lockout that we're going to walk into in the next couple years, and this could be a pretty difficult one to get out of. I mean, I want to know what you guys think, and Richie, I'll start with you. Where are you sitting on it?
Well, Kirby Yates was a 1-year deal, correct? Pretty sure it was a 1-year, maybe 2-year deal. Tanner Scott, 3 years?
I thought it was
Tanner
4.
Scott was 3 years.
I'm pretty sure all of these, not minor moves, but the not like household names that they picked up, all end prior to the next CBA.
Tanner Scott was 4 years. My apologies.
No worries. But I'm pretty sure that all of these minor moves that they're getting, they're not minor moves at all. But compared to who they've signed in the past 2 seasons, they're minor moves. I'm pretty sure that these are, as I said, ending all before the next CBA. So
I don't think Tanner Scott's is. I think the next CBA is in 27.
He's also the youngest they've signed out of the minor moves for the bullpen. Kirby Yates is probably going to retire by then.
Probably.
I think his last season was a fluke. I don't think he's as dominant as he was last year for a very bad team. I should say a very hurt team, not a bad team. The Rangers were definitely a badly hurt team. Do I think this is going to affect the lockout? This offseason alone? Sure. Because there's other teams out there that are going, we called them. They just didn't answer me back. So I didn't know what to do. So, I mean, we'll really see how it goes in the long run. What was it? The Yankees owner the other day. He flat out came out and said something stupid where he's like, something about all the money they're making or all the money they're spending. It's going to catch up to them. Didn't the Yankees do that for years? So, I mean, hot kettle black, right? It's tough. I don't know exactly where it's going to go because obviously this is not a good look. This is one of the reasons that the NBA is sort of deteriorating because of super teams. Nobody gives a shit about anything but the super teams, especially the media. I mean, when was the last time you heard anybody talk about? You know what? Honestly, I don't know what teams are good or bad in basketball.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Damon's fucking shaking trying to get.
Listen, man. Don't be mad that your team's not spending money. That's all I got to leave it with. Are we going to lead to a lockout? I mean, I don't think it's going to lead to a lockout. I think it's going to lead to a, hey, man, this is only how much you're going to be able to defer, because back in the day, only certain players were deferring amounts of money, and it was like 1 or 2 players per team. So are we going to see something where they're like, hey, you can't just defer $2 billion worth of contracts? Probably. Do I think it's going to be a lockout? No, I think it's going to be another 1940, 1950s Yankees team, but it's the Dodgers this time. You know, just kicking butt and taking names the entire time. Are we going to get upset about that? No, I think, there's a lot of other owners that are making a lot of money, and they need to go spend it if they want to go be on par with these guys. Hal Steinbrenner needs to stop crying poor. He needs to start spending money. How do you spend almost $800 million and then sit there and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have. It doesn't make sense. So, I mean, again, get the checkbooks out. These guys are wanting to get paid, and if that's what it costs to get these guys on your team, and that's gonna get you games won, do it. And if it's not, find a way to get camaraderie with the guys that you already have and win games. You got 2 simple ways of doing it. We could sit here and cry wolf about what the Dodgers are doing. Don't be mad that they're doing something that's unprecedented. I mean, when John Jones came into the UFC, he was doing things that we had never seen in the UFC before, that now people do all the time. But I mean, bro was hitting people with moves that it was like, how do I defend this? Well, don't be mad that he's throwing it because it ain't illegal. He's just exploiting techniques that you don't know. So, I mean, shouts out to the Dodgers. Go spend some more money, get Daddy Warbucks, and kick some mother freaking booty for the next 10 years, baby. Let's have some fun with it. Anybody else that's upset about what they're doing, they need to go to their team and tell them, hey, man, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, listen, play, I understand you. But if you got it, it's a cold world out there. They want them big bucks, understand. And some of these cities that people are like, oh, well, they need to come here. Go look at the city that you're asking them to come to, okay? Like let's be realistic here. So I as much as I want to sit here and cry that, the Dodgers are playing unfair, listen, isn't there a saying like all's fair in love and war?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't be mad that they're exploiting all the gray areas and kicking butt and doing so. Shouts out to the Dodgers and shouts out to another 10 years. That's all I got to say.
I find it hard to disagree with both your points, and to go further off Damon, I mean, it's kind of hard to be mad at the Dodgers when, every team has a chance to go out and sign these players. I mean, how long was Tanner Scott sitting in free agency before he eventually went to the Dodgers? So it's like all these teams had the opportunity to sign him. Now, did Roki Sasaki go in there? Probably help the case? Yeah, maybe. But that still doesn't mean that whole time before that, teams couldn't have been calling him, offering up the money. Like, it's not like Tanner Scott was sitting there going, I'm not signing until Roki Sasaki signs, and then I'm following him where he goes. Like, I highly doubt that was the case. And, and the same for Kirby Yates. It's like, yeah, they both went to the Dodgers, which sucks because these were 2 solid pieces that could have been an addition to any bullpen in the league. but they went to the Dodgers. And yeah, as a fan of a different team than the Dodgers, it kind of sucks. As a fan of a team that's also in the National League, it's like great. It's like, what now? If whatever happens, it's probably going to be the Dodgers that stand in our way of ever getting to a World Series again. But this is baseball. And I can't say it enough. Every team in the league had the opportunity to sign these players. That's just how it is. Sometimes that's business. Now, switching to the business side of it, the one thing I don't like is when some of these people own a team and then do jack shit for the team and then wonder why fans don't come out to the stadiums. That's the shit I don't like. Like, I'm in a fantasy baseball group chat, and we were just talking about this a couple days ago or so, of the teams that are actually, like, making money, and it's those bottom dollar teams, like the Marlins, because they don't spend it, they make so much money that they make a profit on it. The Athletics turn a profit. Like, there's the teams that turn a profit are the teams that aren't putting money out there. And I put the Rays out there, but then the Rays went and got Ha-Seong Kim, the infielder, and it's like, okay, well, they're spending, so they're doing something.
2 years, 29 mil, right?
2 for 28. But it just kind of makes me wonder, is this one of those moves where it's like, oh, wow, he did really well in the first half. Is this Tampa Bay just going out and doing what they usually do, trading them to a contender for prospects, and then building the prospects up and then trade them down the line?
Well,
You see, my question with that is, remember Oakland was they're going to get fined or something like that if they didn't spend money. So they went out and got Severino. Are we not seeing that with these other teams that don't like to spend money, where they're going to go get the bottom dollar guys? I mean, $20 million in today's market isn't much.
No.
It's not much. So again, are they spending the bottom dollar so the MLB isn't knocking on their door like, hey man, you're taking all this money in the revenue sharing, but you're not spending any of it, and that's kind of the point of why you're getting it, is you get it to spend it and you're not spending any of it. So what's up with that?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I mean, and again, these are just questions that I have, because right when they signed Severino, that's when people were talking about, oh, are they looking at not getting fined? And I was like, oh, I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know if you didn't sign or if you didn't spend a certain amount of money, you could get in trouble for that. So, started to look into that. But that's my question to you guys: is that their attempt of saying, hey, like, we went after somebody. We're not trying to just keep the money. We spent some of it. We also have to repair our paper mache roof.
So, I mean, like, as you said, spend the money or don't. Everyone has that capability. The big thing that I kind of want to shout out Dodgers ownership for is, this is actually big respect, but also not so much because it's a tax break in the end, that Dodgers ownership is donating $100 million to California for the wildfires.
Even if it's a tax break, that's more than what anybody's ever tried to donate thus far.
That's more than about half a dozen rosters.
But again, you see what I'm saying? So even if it's a tax break for them, it's still a gracious gift that they're giving that they don't need to give. There's nothing warranting him giving the $100 million. So that's where, I mean, no matter what it is, no matter if it could be the most backhanded compliment, and it's still a compliment,
There's still 3 other major league teams in California that haven't notably donated anything.
No, not at all. And there's another team in the area that I haven't seen donate. And again, it's an hour and some time away, but last time I checked, if you go on Wikipedia, you can see at one point they were the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They may still be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They could be the Anaheim Angels. Not sure. I don't care enough about the team to go look. I just know them as the Angels.
I think they stopped calling them the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim when Disney lost their controlling rights.
The fact that Disney had controlling rights over 2 major sports teams is absolutely absurd.
There are 2 of the movies that shaped my childhood, so I don't care.
I would like to make it a point that the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim is probably still one of the best hockey names of all time, and the jerseys matched it because they were the sexiest jerseys I've ever seen in my entire life.
Correct.
You know what? Ain't got to. I love it. I love it. I'm right there with you. I was just, when I think of Disney, I think of ESPN, and then like ESPN owning two teams. Crazy.
Sure.
Well,
Roundabout way of saying it.
That's a fair point. But then you're also
Well,
looking at Hulu,
Yeah,
and
Hulu technically
everyone
had-
else, like that Nat Geo, they're all under that category, man.
That means Nat Geo had a piece of the Mighty Ducks, baby. That's legacy right there. That's all I gotta say.
So, like, the one thing that I do want to bring up, and Damon kind of alluded to it, was that teams have to spend like a bottom, or they should be spending at least a bottom dollar to be like, hey, we're at least trying here. I just went through the Miami Marlins like off-season tracker, and all I'm seeing are a bunch of minor league contracts and a couple trades. Like, they haven't done shit for
That's how
actual
they get
major
better.
league. Like, and it's just crazy to me because like yeah, we sit here and bust the Athletics balls, but like the Athletics still went out. Like the Athletics, within the first week and a half of the offseason really starting, inked Severino immediately to a 4-year, $63 million deal, and we were like, okay, well, it seems like the Athletics are buyers. Like, that's
Severino
kind of
pitched
cool.
2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, like the guy just finished his start and he's already off the market. Like, that's it, he's done. But like the Athletics have made a couple other signings, but I'm just kind of wondering why we're not giving the Marlins the same energy. Like, we should be looking at them being like, yo, like, you guys have had like a pretty empty stadium the past couple years. Like, do you plan on doing something to fix this, or like what's the plan here? Because like, I mean, listen, I'm not a Marlins fan. I can't exactly go out and say what the fan base is like, but I can't imagine sitting here going into February and being like, my team sucked last year and we haven't done like, we're talking like almost White Sox level of just nothing. For Damon, go ahead.
You already know, man. Listen, what was the fable? It was the turtle beats the hare or something like that in a
Tortoise in
race.
the hare.
The tortoise and the
tortoise.
hare.
Slow
Hey.
and steady wins the race.
Slow. Rich, this is why we love you. Say that again and say it in your storybook voice, okay?
Slow and steady wins the race.
All right, so check this, Chiefs. All right, 1993, Florida Marlins came into existence. Within 10 years, 2 World Series. That's more than some teams that have been around for almost 100 years. You know what they're doing now? Slow, steady. Slow, steady. They're building something. And it may not be now. It may not be in 10 years. It may not be in 20 years. It may be 50 years down the road. But can I tell you something? They're building for something. So
Hold on.
All I'm saying-
So hold on.
Yeah,
I want to interrupt you for a second.
Mm.
Are they building something to once again trade away the stars to different teams and then rebuild again? Because
hey,
you guys did have Ozuna, Stanton, Yelich, Romuto. Like, you guys
Hey.
had a solid core, and then you were like, nope,
last
blow it up.
week, last pod, I may have been with the Marlins. Okay, as you see, I've been paid by the Dodgers. I'm with them now. Okay,
Fucking
Me-
Dodgers
You're
are
not
paying
getting that money
everybody.
until 2073.
That's what I told them. That's what I told them. I don't need the money right now, but when I have grandkids, they're gonna want to go to college. So whatever you were thinking about giving me, just give it to them. Put them through college. and for me, dude, I only asked them for a
Online
handshake.
school only. We'll be cash.
No, dude, I asked for a handshake and a hot dog.
Do you
and that's-
like University of Phoenix?
No, that's the thing. They told me if I wanted them to get through college, they had to go through the Starbucks and get that University of Arizona through Starbucks stuff. They said they weren't
Fair.
going to
It's fair.
truly pay. They said they'd give me a handshake and a hot dog, and they said that the hot dog comes from the date of the handshake. So it's not like, in 2073, my great grandkids get a hot dog. No. they're gonna get the hot dog from today in 20. So it might be an epoxy resin or whatever, but I'm with the Dodgers nowadays. Don't. So Jay, all I gotta ask you is please don't equate me with the Marlins. Whatever they're planning on doing, I'm just basing my thoughts on what I've seen and what I've heard from around the way. I was talking to
Okay.
Ginny on the block, and she told me that they may get stars on their team and trade them away again, but they may look for something, go for a deep playoff run. But it may.
I'm still Jenny on the block.
All right.
You know
so you heard it here first. The plan for the Marlins is to wait and slow and steady wins the race. Now, the other thing I want to ask. Once again, 2 weeks later, Bregman and Alonso still sitting out there, but Bregman has been in touch with Houston, which shocker there. I thought that was over, but it seems like the divorced mom and dad are celebrating Christmas together this year. And then Pete Alonso's linked to the Angels and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are throwing more money every day. They're like, yo, extra $1 million, sign here.
The Blue Jays are linked to every single person, except most people are like, dude, it's Canada. You realize how much of my paycheck I'm going to lose?
Oh, really? I didn't know. I didn't know like what their taxes look like.
Yeah, so the tax exchange rate, it's going to be awful.
Oof.
Like it
Now, I don't know
genuinely
if tariffs
cracks
will
me up.
affect that means that's a good coming out.
Does poutine help?
No.
Okay.
Well,
That's
especially
fair.
it doesn't help people with two different colored eyes either.
Could you imagine if Pete Alonso's contract had deferred poutine on it?
That would be a
I would.
great contract.
I would believe it.
Like that'd be awesome.
I would believe it because Pete is notoriously annoying and has bad haircuts and bobs his head very annoyingly at the home run derby. So yeah, I could see it be like, I'll take all the poutine I can get in the off season. Every year that I sign this contract.
Chocolate peanut butter smoothies.
Yes.
I enjoy chocolate peanut butter smoothies, so I know it takes one to know what I mean.
I don't like chocolate.
Chocolate's pretty good, but I mean, but like in terms of smoothies, I don't even think it's a smoothie, but like
The
I've been
food.
drinking. Like I've been drinking like these strawberry banana protein shakes in the morning just because I really need to lose weight for this wedding. They're genuinely not bad. The problem is that they're supposed to hold you over for a meal. Like an hour later, I'm like, dude, I am starving. And I need
Slim
to
Fast
eat.
bullshit.
It's not Slim. I don't even know what brand it is. It's really good, but yeah, the holding off hunger part does not fucking help. Like,
No,
that's the
dude, you
worst
take
thing
two
ever.
steps after you eat it, you're like, oh, it's like Chinese food. I'm hungry again.
Dude, it hurts. It
Dude,
hurts.
this meal replacement stuff, like, come on. No, I'm going to screw myself over because I just had all these calories and protein to hold me over. Except, guess what? I'm still going to eat and then just have an extra meal in the day now.
Yeah.
So it's going to screw me over. Because healthy.
I just had one of those smoothies just recently for breakfast, and I thought it was going to hold me over for breakfast. It didn't do its job. I was kind of upset.
Gentlemen, we do not stop till nightfall.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast? Don't think he knows about second breakfast, Pip.
Please.
But I mean, yeah. Bregman, Alonso still sitting out there, and trust me, the last place I want to be is back on here in 2 weeks going, well, spring training has started and Alex Bregman and the Houston Astros are giving each other under the table HJs, and we're just waiting for the contract to be signed.
Are they both Boris clients?
I believe so. I'm almost positive. Bregman definitely is, and I'm pretty sure Pete Alonso is.
It definitely is because Boris was going for like the $220 million at the beginning of the offseason. That's right.
And yeah, now he's just trying to get Bregman the years he wants, and
Yeah, really
From
living
what
up to
I
that
heard, it's-
Bregman last name.
it's like 5 or
Uh,
6 years he's looking for. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I mean, there's still plenty of other free agents out there. Some of the names genuinely surprised me. Like Brendan Rodgers is not a bad second baseman. I think his situation in Colorado just made him look worse than what he is. Verdugo is still sitting out there.
He's been bad. He's played on
Right.
bad teams, so it's kind of like that illusion effect. Everything around you looks bad, so therefore you look bad.
Yeah.
If you look
But
at
I
his
mean-
numbers, he's not. He's a very serviceable player. Unless you have an all-star at his position that he's going to play, he's going to be equal or better than most.
Yeah, I like Brendan Rodgers. I think if he had maintained his health while in Colorado, I think he would have been fine. But for the most part, it's like and I hate to say it, but I feel like we're going to be stuck in this waiting period where it's like no one else is really going to sign until we figure out what the hell Alonso and Bregman are doing. And which is crazy because you look at pitchers like Jack Flaherty's still sitting out there. I
mean,
really don't
there's-
see a world where Patrick Corbin's getting a multi-year deal after his national implosion.
Tenure.
But
His
Like,
entire national tenure. Listen, the guy's going to give you 200 innings, except it's going to be a negative WAR,
and you're going to lose every outing.
Yeah,
Like you're pretty much signing yourself up for a loss, an extra loss in one of your 5 days. But I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Damon, like, where do you see these situations heading? I mean, like,
I'm going to be honest
how much
with
longer?
you. There's no telling at this point because both of those guys are Boris agent. Boris is their agent. I don't know. I don't know. Like again, I've told a lot of these teams to open their checkbook and spend, but some of these guys, dude, are just you got an O2 Civic, with 150,000 miles, and someone's asking for $150,000 for it. So it's like, I don't know. And I'm not saying those guys are exactly that car model, shape or year, but we're not looking at Ferraris. We're not looking at Lamborghinis. We're looking at definitely a used Range Rover, a used Lincoln Navigator. Might be the highest trim, but damn it, I'm still not trying to pay $80,000 for it.
I don't know. I'm
So-
pretty sure Kyle Gibson is he's easily an Eddie Bauer edition Ford Explorer.
Oh, we're not talking King Ranch. We're just talking Eddie Bauer.
Yeah,
Okay, I can
Eddie
rocks with that.
Bauer. Wow,
I could
that's a
I
comparison.
could rocks with that one. That
I like
was,
that.
I was like, dude, that was. But yeah, that's where I tell you, we've come to a point where are some of these guys getting paid accurately? Yeah. And it may
No.
not look like it. Oh, it may not look like it, production wise on the field, off the field, everything that they're making from the team, they're making for the team. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. And it's still a sliver of what they're making for the team. So I mean,
I don't know if I'm going to buy a Jacob Junis jersey. And
I don't know if I am
How
either,
about the
but
team?
there's a lot of people that are going to go out there and buy a Juan Soto jersey. So when people sit there and question why the $765 million, well, when you go to the Yankee Stadium and you see more people than not, not Yankee Stadium, you go to what's the Citi Field? Citi Field. My
City.
bad, Mr. Cohen. My bad, Mr. Cohen. I was thinking Shea Stadium. Players mess up. My bad, player. Anyways. You go to Citi Field and you see more people with Soto jerseys than not. You can't be upset that the 765 was spent because, your team's recuperating. As we saw with baseball, their annual report, they said they made like $12.1 billion. Come on now. And again, we don't know if that's profit. That's just what they said. Their annual, so it could be, less that they made, but still the revenue is 12.1 billion. That's a lot. It's a lot of money. So
And
kudos to baseball, kudos to the souvenirs, and Yeah, my bad, Jay Shmoney. What were you gonna say?
No, you're good. No, what I was going to say is that it's kind of a shame actually because these teams are going out and spending the money, but then they're like, oh, here, like we'll give you this Juan Soto jersey for $200, and the dudes are like, no, and then they're going to DH Gate promo code Drunks on the Pod. Just kidding, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I tried. Don't use that. I tried it. Gone on DH Gate. Oh, Juan Soto jersey, $15, my size. Get it in the mail, and it's better than Fanatics jersey. So it's like,
Well, we're not going to talk about how Fanatics ruin the quality of jerseys, okay? We're not going to go down that little rabbit hole of its own.
We've done plenty of episodes about that.
dude.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, we're past the Fanatics shit. Honestly, I will give them credit. They did notice that the first year jerseys were just trash, and they were like, "We gotta fix this. Like these jerseys sucks." Like they were spelling names wrong. They were getting the numbers wrong. They were getting the people on the wrong team. Like they sent Michael Chavis like a Yankees jersey, and he's like, "I don't even play for the Yankees." Like, the hell are we doing? And Fanatics is like, oh, hey, if you want to call our representative Molly, she'll be glad to help you out. Meanwhile, Molly's getting flooded with phone calls. Like, she's getting yelled at by everybody. Poor Molly. Like, shout out Molly.
All you heard was, and yes, this is Molly.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Molly. How can I help you? It's like, you sound like a dude. He's like, no, my name is Molly. I am young American woman. 3 kids. It's like, okay.
I'm sorry for lying.
But I mean, yeah, this whole situation kind of sucks. But what doesn't suck is we're going into year 2 with our boy Paulie Skeens. I, for one, am goddamn stoked, and I don't know about you guys, but I mean, setting the bar for Paul Skeens, I don't want to get crazy. I don't.
Then don't.
But if Paul's as dominant as we've come to learn in his first season, I'm going to set the bar personally, and I want to know where you guys set it. Top 10 Cy Young voting. Top 5 might be pushing it a little bit, but I expect him to be top 10. Now, I'm going to pass.
I believe top 10. But the only Paul Skeens anything that I want to say is, as soon as his rookie contract's up, go on.
Yes, on the Paul Skeens subject, what were you going to say?
At this point, who besides Andrew McCutchen wants to stay in that city?
I mean, maybe somebody that wants to go around the city.
Hold on. Adam Frazier just came back for his second tenure as a Pirate.
Who else called Adam Frazier?
Check the call records. Z, book Adam Frazier. We got a question for him. If Z books Adam Frazier, dude, if Adam Frazier comes on here next week and we're sitting here talking, Adam, who called you? And he's like, don't want to talk about it. We're like, was it just Pittsburgh, Adam? Was it just Pittsburgh? Are you going back to PNC because you didn't have another option?
Or was it a guy named Molly?
Yeah. Or was Molly trying to fix your order on Fanatics? But I mean, Damon, you said earlier that this was probably the most happy you were about a segment. So I mean, I'm gonna pass it to you.
Said, dude, I mean, look, when we talk about Paul Skeens, I get super excited to talk about him because there's a huge potential upside and there is a huge potential downside, and it's not bad either way. But are we looking at somebody that's like Dontrelle Willis, where he starts out his career absolutely on fire and then people figure him out? Or are we looking at, the next Nolan Ryan, the next, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez? So it's kind of hard to see. Is he going to fall in between? And if he falls in between, is it going to be like a Kerry Wood? What's up, player?
I really hope that he's not Nolan Ryan because this kid deserves a Cy Young.
Well, yeah, we're talking about the longevity aspect. Okay, if you're going based off of straight accolades, then we could name better people. But holy heck, dude, I thought we could at least imagine for a moment.
Imagination.
Somebody doesn't have it. And when we talk about Paul Skeens, dude, there's a lot to be awed at, and if he struggles as a pitcher, you could go look at his hitting stats when he was Air Force. Dude, absolutely raked.
Well, it was nice.
Yeah, if he struggles truly as a pitcher and can't figure it out, is it going to be the revert? Well, no, Skip Schumacher did do that. He went from a pitcher to not Skip Schumacher, Rick Ankiel. My bad.
My boy.
Players mess up. My bad. Second time today, dude. Third time, I'm gonna walk out of here for 30 seconds and just come back and reintroduce myself.
Schumacher is going from a utility infielder to a knuckleballer. Is that Schumacher?
That was with the Braves.
David Fletcher.
David Fletcher. There we go.
I heard white guy.
At least you're honest. There's a lot of people that don't want to have that honesty with themselves.
White guys are so easily interchangeable.
Like, the one thing I'll be honest about is that, like, I think 2025 Paul Skeens is probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most this year. Like I can't even say I'm really looking forward to watching the Dodgers, because it's going to be like, yeah, it's like, I really want to see them play a bad team like the White Sox.
Opposite of the White Sox.
Just to see, like, what they can really do when they pile on. If they're ever going to do that. I don't think they will, because they don't seem like that type of team.
Okay,
But,
so my
like,
question is, you're not you're not expecting people to figure them out within the next year?
Paul Skeens?
Yeah.
I think I would like to think that this coming year, Paul Skeens is still going to go on a run. I don't think he's going to be that same pitcher we saw. Like, in 24, he dominated. He just outright dominated. And it reminded me of Strasburg when Strasburg first came up. Like, when he came up, there was the hype. He looked exactly like what he was supposed to. And then he went on a couple years of just tearing it up. People couldn't touch him regardless of whether they knew what was coming or not. And I think
he was torn up.
And I think Paul Skeens is going to be on that same plane. And knock on wood, we all heard it. Hopefully he doesn't get hit with any arm injuries, because the one thing Paul Skeens prides himself on is his velocity. And I would hate to see something happen where he's like, okay, now I have to be more of a painting type of guy. Like, I got to hit corners, got to hit spots. And I don't think it'll happen, because I'm also looking forward to Spencer Strider coming back.
That? What's wrong with that, though? Because, look at Greg Maddux.
No. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying for like people that pride themselves on being able to throw hard and fast, not being able to do what you once were able to, it's got to be like, it's a mental battle, because you want to do it, but you're like, I can't, because my arm just doesn't have that capability anymore. And I think that is going to be a big test for Spencer Strider, because Strider made 2 starts last year and had to get did Strider get Tommy John, or did he just tear something? Okay. So, and that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that with Strider, I think Strider's coming back fully healthy this year. I think he got it early enough to where it didn't truly affect his 2025 season. But I'm looking forward to see, like, is that velocity a couple ticks down, or where's it sitting at? I mean, no, but I'm back on Paul Skeens. I think top 10 Cy Young is where he's going to sit this year. And I think it'll be one of those things that only gets better as he furthers into his career.
So one thing about Paul Skeens that a lot of people are probably not going to take into appreciation, it's not about how hard he throws. His stuff is dirty. He's going to miss bats no matter what. Just For how long until there's the arm injury because he throws 103? I mean, I missed pitchers pitching. Like Craig Maddox. You said it, Damon. Dude was an artist. An artiste. And now, if you're not painting 101 middle of the plate, teams won't call you. So, I mean, I hope the best for Skeens. He's good for the sport. His arm is a talent. I hate his mustache. Other than that, I hope good for him.
Now,
Damon,
as
go
you
ahead.
say, he's good for the sport. My question to you guys is he good for the sports card hobby? With his card being pulled by an anonymous 11-year-old kid who was donating the proceeds to the wildlife fires, does this not ring
Nerd.
any alarms for anybody else? It was first pulled in December. They said it was pulled on Christmas or something like that. I've heard multiple stories. It
Hell of a
was,
Christmas gift.
sent. It was notified to Tops because they had to send it in. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments. You would care more than I do to correct me because I don't give no dams. I'm just telling you from what I've been told. Anywho, long and short, the 11-year-old kid pulled the card. It got graded faster than ever. And, the timeline of when they said they pulled it was like, so you guys waited like a month for all your product to sell before you notified anybody that the big card was taken out. And then this 11-year-old kid doesn't want any of the millions that he's going to get off this card. Like, I ain't never heard no 11-year-old kid saying, well, no couple $1 million. Do you know how much money I'm spending on the Xbox or the PlayStation Store? That's crazy. Like, I'm spending
I'm
so
buying
much money.
5 Xboxes.
Yeah, I'm literally telling my buddies, bro, Starbucks on me, dude. You want to go to Waba Grill? On me. In-N-Out? On me. Next couple years. I don't have to worry about college. You guys probably have to. So listen, when we're there, food on me. Boys chilling off the Paul Skeens card. No, he doesn't want that. And if he's from LA, okay, this is my truest, if he was affected by the fires, God bless him, whatever it may be the situation. I don't know. I truly don't know. I'm just going off of this sounding very odd. But if it is what it is, I'll sit there and apologize and say I'm wrong because I have no problem saying so. But, if the kid's house was affected, then why not keep the millions for yourself and actually utilize it for the house and if your house wasn't affected, you probably know some people personally that can use that money rather than a charity where you can't guarantee that money's going to get put to good usage. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go crazy in my head about it. And I think the biggest thing about it for me was how quickly it got graded, how it was kept a secret, and guess where it's being sold off at? The Fanatics auction. So, me asking you guys, for him being as good as he is to the sport, is he as good to the hobby? And again, it's not his problem.
So, him to the hobby. Let's focus on that. Was this entire Pittsburgh contest all his idea? Or was it ownership's?
Oh, why would it be his idea? You think he cares?
Exactly. It's not his fault. It's not that he's bad for the hobby.
It's his name. It's his name still attached to it.
Yeah, but that shouldn't devalue his cards.
I mean, it's not going to devalue his cards, but it's just the fact of how sketchy the whole situation looks. I'm not saying
Obviously, it's ownership thrown over and making things look bad because
that
things
might
got found
affect
out.
the value of that card then. You see, he may not directly affect the value of the card. The value of the card may be affected by ownership. Regardless of the facts, Paul Skeens' name is still on the card, and it still has a possibility of being affected, and that's the point I'm making. Of it possibly being bad or it possibly being good. It could be whatever, and that's kind of what I'm asking. It's just a very awkward situation that Fanatics has put us in for yet another year.
So on the topic of the card, uh I'm 50-50. I don't think he's bad for the cards. I think the way they've handled this whole giveaway has just been kind of shady from the start, because this wasn't like a thing for just like the surrounding, like the Pennsylvania area, where it's like, hey, special edition Paul Skeens, where it's like if you win this, here's a list of prizes Pittsburgh's giving you. You made this like a nationwide giveaway. Like you didn't have the card just in like the PNC Stadium like team store and be like, if you pull the Paul Skeens, you have a chance to win all this. Like, no, you did it for all 50 fucking states and wherever else cards are sold. The chance that you sold that card in that general area was slim to none.
If that happened, I would have called more bullshit.
Pittsburgh, I agree. If that card
guys-
would have gotten pulled in Pittsburgh, I would have been like, okay, that's either a weird ass coincidence or it's just pure luck.
You guys know where PSA's headquarters are?
Pittsburgh?
No.
I don't know. I'm assuming Pittsburgh.
Anaheim.
Is it really?
Yeah, go look it up. That's where I'm like, dude,
Interesting.
it doesn't ring any bells that the card gets pulled about an hour and a half north of where, you could
Yeah,
go grade it for the name brand of all grading cards.
Disney.
Like, Walt Disney's behind the Paul Skeens card. We all know it. But, like, it's one of those things where I just find it weird that Pittsburgh was like, you get all these things if you pull the card. It's like, what's your plan B? Like, plan A is you hoping someone in the area pulls this. Plan
Someone
B should have
within
been
a-
like,
Step or within a public transit region would have
Plan-
got it.
Plan B should have been a cash prize, Paul Skeen jersey, Paul Skeen ball, both autographed, like a whole list of shit that can get mailed
Libby
out to a
Dunn photo.
person. I'll be honest. She's pretty. I don't get the hype. I'll be honest.
I don't either.
But like on the case of the card, it is very weird that it got pulled all the way in California, and Pittsburgh's like, hey, the deal still stands. It's like, this kid is 11 years old. 11. Do you think
So
he's
he's
going to
got
go
school.
to Pittsburgh for the next 30 fucking years?
He's got
Just for
school.
season tickets? Like, it wasn't going to happen. But the fact that this kid's like, oh yeah, we're going to take it to auction. Everyone was like, that's a brilliant idea because you're going to get paid for it. And it was like, okay, the kid's going to take this to auction, get it valued, and then just fucking sell it. Perfect. The Pittsburgh deal doesn't work out in your favor at all. You live in California. But now the kid's like, and yeah, we're donating it to the wildlife fund. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, that's very generous of you. Like, that's great. We love that. But you're turning down millions of dollars and you're saying that you're donating every cent of this card. Okay. Who
All right,
am I to make other people's decisions for them? I'm just a dude that records a podcast on Thursdays and behind the scenes once every couple weeks. That's who I am. But Damon, you did have your hand up. I saw it. I want to let you cook, buddy. You're on the grill.
So PSA's headquarters is in Santa Ana, California. That is more relatively close to Irvine. And if you're in the area, please fillet me, dude, because I'm up above all that, and I don't go in that area because last time I was in LA, I saw a naked dude throwing like water bottles and styrofoam cups at cars, and I was like, probably don't need to be here anymore, So, I mean, this whole Paul Skeen situation just rings, it rings disgusting, regardless of how you want to see it. And again, I don't see, and I would hope to be proven wrong. I'm saying this right now. I hope I am proven wrong. And again, they said they're not going to show who the 11-year-old kid is. That's fine. I hope 20 years down the road, we're not hearing no HBO Max documentary or docuseries about this right here.
Dude,
So
if in the next 20 years we get that as an HBO doc, I'm done. I am done.
Come to find out, he was actually one of the Teen Mom's kids from MTV.
oh damn.
It goes deep.
And he was
Those
actually Gypsy Rose's first lover. Like, dude, I
Wow.
don't ever want to deal with any of this stupid documentary crap about this card.
Oh, question
It better
for you.
never happen.
Now, there might be a documentary on this question that I do want to ask you guys is what's going on with the Padres? Are we going to see a documentary about the fall of this? Is it Siegler, whatever it is? Are we going to see a fall?
Seidler.
Are we going to see the fall of the Siedler family in San Diego? Is that going to be the next Hulu's? What's going to be going on there? Can I get a big expression from you boys about what the heck is going on in San Diego? And if I wanted to start my own amateur baseball team, can I go sign my favorite baseball player in San Diego at a fire sale price? You guys let me know.
So I'm gonna do. I have a
ahead.
short. I'm short with this. You have a lot more to say because you got ants in your pants.
Oh, dude, I've been looking for the minute I read the article today. I was like, we gotta speak on this. We have to. Go ahead.
It's ironic that Padres is Spanish for father, but yet we have literally two brothers who are fighting over it with the widow of the father. Is that what it is?
I think it's like the widow's fighting with her husband's brothers.
Yeah, it's the husband's brothers and the widow.
Okay, so
So
it's three brothers.
One died.
One has passed,
Yes.
and the widow.
yes,
Yes. The person that perished, she had like the majority share, to my knowledge. Like he was the guy that you would always see at the stadium. It wasn't like it was.
Because he was the one who cared the most, and
Yeah.
the other two just kind of wanted to just be like, "Hey,
We're here.
send me a check."
Yeah. We'll get the
Send me a
check.
check.
Thank you.
This is where MLB needs to start to try and figure out whether or not some people should be owners. Just because you got the money doesn't mean you should be the owner. So, at this point, cut them all out. Let's sell the team, get your money, divvy it up, shut the hell up.
So I do want to make a point, and I actually just learned this a minute ago. And Damon, it's actually funny you're wearing the hat. Peter Seidler, the one that passed away, the owner, his grandfather was Walter O'Malley. If you didn't know, Walter O'Malley was the one that moved the Dodgers from Brooklyn out to LA. So, kind of crazy. I did not know that. But, yeah. Walter O'Malley was Peter Seidler's grandfather. Back to the Padres, though. Dude, I love this because we have two brothers fighting the widow for pretty much control of the team.
Start a TLC show. Come on.
This really should be on TV. Like, we should have a camera crew because at some point someone is going to get real petty, and start just selling the team. Not selling off the team, but selling off the players. Like if it gets to a point where the brothers look like they're going to be in control, and there's like a 2-day kind of waiting period for everything to hit, the widow may be like, I still have a stake, so I still get to do shit. Okay, let me ring the lines. Oh, hey, Boston, you want Fernando Tatis? Great, he's on the market right now. What do you got? Oh, you have a pitcher who has 6 Tommy John surgeries and can't get any higher than high A? Great, we'll take him right off your hands, buddy. Congratulations, you got Fernando Tatis. Click.
And we'll pay the remainder of his contract.
Yeah, we'll eat the entire contract. You get them for completely free. Don't worry about it. We're so glad to do business with you. And it just goes off like that. It's just a chain reaction of dynamite. Obviously, it won't happen, But the fact the Padres are out here saying
big.
everyone's available, just sending offers. Like they just got Dylan Cease, a year or two ago, and they're already like
Last year.
they're like, just take them. Like just give us an offer. Michael King, who had a great year last year for Padres, he's on the market. So it's like, I really don't know where this is going, but I would be lying if I said that I was not so excited for the possibility of the players of San Diego being traded for just absolute pennies on the dollar. Like, it's going to get crazy before it gets better. And I hope the crazy we get is like Fernando Tatis to the Phillies for Brandon Marsh and our hot dog vendor in the 300 sections. Like, I think we should get a little wild with it. I doubt it.
Whoa. I love Stan.
Whoa.
Well, if you love Stan, you would know that Stan is in the 200 sections and it's actually Mike in the 300s because of his 2 DUIs.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. You may love Stan, but Stan ain't going nowhere. Stan's the man.
Yeah, Mike. Hey. And the only reason Jay Schmani knows about Mike is because Mike hits him up and says, "Hey, man, big fan of Drunks on the Pond. You know why? Because I've had 2 DUIs, and every time I'm at the game, I see you in the 200 section, and I get to come over out of my section and say, how you doing?"
Damn right.
Well, good for him.
Another topic I want to hit on is congratulating the new Hall of Fame class. 3 very notable careers entering this year. Ichiro Suzuki, who I will comment on this. Hold on. We have to comment on it. I want the goddamn name of the one person who does not think Ichiro is a Hall of Famer. You have to be a sick son of a bitch to look at that resume and go, nah, doesn't do anything for me. You, sir, I hope you never spend another day being happy, and I hope every day that you wake up and put on a new pair of pants, your zipper fucking breaks. You scumbag. God damn it. How do you look at that resume and say he is not a Hall of Famer? You piece of shit, man. But shout out to CC Sabathia and Billy Wagner as well. You boys can have the conversation. That's all I wanted to say.
So no, real quick. That's the listen, Rich. You can have the rest of this conversation. I gotta add on to that. That voter, his mom, his dad, the existence of his whole, the spirit that's in his body. When that kid dies and he leaves this earth, the spirit that goes onward. Every last bit of that fuck. If he got them too, if he got a dog, that mother dog. I don't want any of this cut. I want it bleached. I want him. Everything he believes in. And I don't want a zipper to get broke. I want a zipper to get broke after he tries to zip up on his foreskin. Everything he believes in. That stupid motherfucker that, guess what? I get so mad at these baseball writers that have worked their entire life to be in a position to sit there and be edgy and objective like that. That is completely pathetic and it's horrible to the game. Somebody like that needs to be shouted out. Let us know who he is so we know that his credibility has gone out the window. We can't give him another ballot for next year. Him and everything he believes in, that stupid piece of shit. I'm so sorry for all that. But shouts out to everybody else that did make it in. CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, you guys are amazing people. I've met both of them. Love them both. Amazing people. Ichiro, again, amazing person as well. Shouts out to them all. All of them got beautiful families. So, yeah, man. Just peace, love, and happiness to the ones that did go in. But that one voter, you mother... And I'm good.
All right, Rich, how you going to follow up that?
I mean, obviously, super congrats to Ichiro. I mean, one of the more deserving first ballot. Should have been unanimous. Should have been. Players of all time. But the thing I want to really, really run home. Also, yeah, wait, real quick. Shout out CC. CC, big man. Good job, man. The thing I really want to let everyone know is how fantastic is it that you saw Billy Wagner and that huge front bulge just leaning on that pool table, looking like such a gargantuan man.
I had a feeling that was getting brought up, and I would have been fine passing over it, but since you brought it up, brother, come on, man, you gotta get some pants that fit better. That was heinous.
That looked like a sideways bounty paper towel roll, just hanging out underneath a pair of khakis. Good for you. Good for you. You didn't care. Did you just look it up, David?
I have no comment. I plead the fifth.
Oh. Yeah.
I plead the FIF.
Fifth. Let's just all agree. Billy, stay proud. Good for you. But also, you're more than deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. Finally, this was your time to shine. So, good for all three of you. Next year's ballot. Not looking too hot. You know what that's kind of looking like? That's kind of looking like a Stouffer's mac and cheese that you put in the microwave for about 35 to 45 seconds too short. So that whole center is very frozen still.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
There are people from this past ballot and the previous ballot that should be in.
There's a lot of dip on that chip. Are you sure you could carry the weight of the chip with the dip on it?
Absolutely, because let's just...
Are you sure about that, son?
Next year's ballot's not looking too hot.
All I'm saying is it may not look too hot with the people that gonna be on the list, but the people that gonna be getting in, we can have a little celebration for, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We ain't need to sit here and worry about who's on there. We just need to worry about who's going in.
I mean, taking a look at the 2026, I mean, I'll be honest, there's two names from 25 I see getting in, but the names that are going over, honestly, I think a couple people might start getting in like the 60% range. Like, all right, so the two I think that will get in next year without a doubt, Beltran and Andrew Jones. Now, Andrew Jones, I give more credit to because it has been entirely too goddamn long of a wait for Jones to not be on the ballot,
right?
Like, I feel like Jones should have been in five. Yeah, it sounds like 5 years. But I feel like Jones should have been in the first three.
And how many years are you on the ballot before you get booted?
I think you get booted off the ballot if you get less than.
Yeah,
Damon can probably correct
I don't
me.
think you can be there for ever.
So when are we going to start calling out these baseball writers that can't hit a baseball? And tell them just because you had an objectively bad, personal interaction with that guy, you can't hold it against them and why they're not in. And I feel like there's some guys that it's held against them. It's petty. It's stupid. You're holding something like that. A guy that's worked a whole career, you want to hold your little animosity. I mean, dude, after I busted my tail for a full 9 innings, and do you think I want to answer some of these stupid questions? No. Some of these questions are like, whoa, why would you even ask me that? And then those guys that are asking those idiotic questions 20 years down the line are the guys that have the baseball writers vote to, I don't want to vote this guy in because the one time I was in the clubhouse with him, I had a bad interaction. Bro, shut up. I didn't care. I've never read any of your little articles that you've ever made. A lot of these guys I'm unfamiliar of. There's a lot of guys that sit there and say, well, I have a baseball. I have no idea who you were. So that means there's a lot of people that want to voice their opinions that have no credible source outside of just being in the clubhouse. Circumstantial events. I was just there in the background. I never really had anything cool to go on. Because, again, the cool beat writers go on to have some sort of career. Because, again, if you want to go look at someone like Stephen A. Smith started his whole career as a beat writer in basketball. So, again, the good beat writers get good careers and they get paid millions of dollars on ESPN and stuff like that. These baseball writers and stuff like that go on Twitter and, tweet their complaints about life and stuff like that, and the people that are signing here and there. So again, I want to ask you guys that.
So, in terms of beat writers, or we'll call them the baseball writers, I
Beat
think
writers?
for the most part, I think they all did very well, and I think the one thing that needs to be put in their heads is that just because you have 10 votes to use, it doesn't mean you have to use all 10. Some of the people out there were like, here's all the guys I put on there. The one guy had Mark Burley X'd, and I was like, okay, listen, I respect your opinion, that's fine. But where do you see Mark Burley as a Hall of Famer? Do you think you had to use all 10 votes and you just put him on there?
Are you from Chicago?
I'm genuinely... I almost kind of feel like once they put their ballots out there, you should have to write an article on, okay, here's why I voted the way I did. I would
feel
be
like
fine
even
with
if you
that
have
because
the opportunity to vote and you are a beat writer, you need to sit there and describe why you voted for this person or why you didn't vote for this person. You need to have a credible source. You can't just sit here and say, oh, because there's some guys that are going to sit there and whittle their thumbs and you're going to be like, oh, you had a bad interaction with this guy. That's why you hold it against him. Because look at someone like Kenny Lofton. Everybody that I've met on the, fan side, do you know what a lot of the fans have told me they've had bad interactions with them. So I could only imagine what certain beat writers have had where he didn't want to have to deal with them. And do I blame him? No. After a long game like that, again, there's some stupid questions that get asked. But when people sit there and want to hold you not wanting to answer the question, which you have the complete right to, you don't need to answer the question. Oh, I'm not going to be in the Hall of Fame? Ridiculous.
It just reminds me of Bryce Harper going, that's a clown question.
Exactly. But they're going to hold that against him when he tries to get into the Hall of Fame. There's going to be one dude, if that guy right there has a vote, let him think about that one time, because how can these guys impose their power over somebody that typically they don't have power over? This is the one opportunity. This is their one chance. And some of them do it maliciously, and it's stupid. It's horrible for the game. I mean, there was that one dude last year that was like, oh, I didn't vote for Gary Sheffield because I didn't know it was his last year on the ballot.
Yeah.
Why are you voting?
Yeah.
What?
If you're not aware of the ballot process and situation and current standings of each individual player, why are you allowed to vote?
Thank you.
And I think this all pretty much circles back to like the whole Ichiro situation. Like everybody in the world knows Ichiro. Well, I don't want to say the world. Everyone in the country knows the success that Ichiro had, not only in Japan, where I can't stress it enough. He spent the first, 9 years of his career becoming a Hall of Famer in Japan, coming over to the U.S. to play in the MLB, winning Rookie of the Year, and becoming a Hall of Famer over here as well. So he's a Hall of Famer in 2 different countries for baseball. This is who we're talking about. The fact that one writer saw all of his accomplishments and said it's still not enough drives me insane. I don't know how you can look at his resume and think that he's not a Hall. I want to know who that writer is, and I want to know if this is his first time ever voting, and if it's not, I want to see all of his previous ballots. I want to know who he thinks is better player than Ichiro, who I can't stress enough, one vote from being unanimous.
Ballots aren't sacred, are they?
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, people share them on social media all the time. So, I mean, that one ballot should be able to be found.
Someone, knowing how good people on Twitter are at finding out information, I would
It
not
should
give
happen.
it long. It's not going to be long until someone is able to figure out who it was. It's going to take some digging, but it's not hard.
Dude, it's a real dick move to discount quite possibly the best hitter of all time, or at least this generation.
Yeah. I would say
And
this
flat be like,
generation.
you know what? Let's see what he's got next year.
Yeah.
Like, it baffles me because also, like, if you don't know who Ichiro is, Ichiro Suzuki was more than capable of doing it all. Everything. That gentleman was quite possibly one of the best interviews you could ever watch. He was also one of the most pinpoint accurate throwers ever defensively. For shits and gigs, he would do clinics and throw baseballs from the mound and hit bats that are standing upright. 5 bats, 5 consecutive throws. Bats fall down. That gentleman, in my opinion, is quite possibly one of the best things that ever happened to baseball. If you
So-
don't think that, you are absolutely numb, blind, and ignorant. Completely. I think both those words cancel out as soon as I said ignorant. But you are absolutely ignorant to the sport if you don't think that he is, this might be going out on a limb here, a top 10 player all time.
Why do you say going out on a limb? I would say top 5, top 3.
I would say top 5, absolutely. But the biggest issue is you have so many historical figures where numbers take less precedent over name.
I understand that, but a lot of those guys, I understand they were pinnacle players to be where we are now. But when let's take away baseball, let's go look at basketball. I don't hear Bill Russell in the conversation with a lot of
Isn't
these
he the
guys.
logo guy?
No, that is Jerry West, sir.
Yeah,
And
see, I
again,
don't care.
Jerry West says that's the whole point. Outside of baseball, I don't see really any type of this guy did this and this guy did that. No, I truly don't. And I mean, you could hear it with some other sports. Do I pay close attention? I mean, even with a lot of these guys in the UFC, they're like, oh, dude, guys 10 years ago can't keep up now. Everything's different. I mean, that's how I look at it. So why are we in baseball holding on to Mickey Mantle? Mickey Mantle was playing in today's game. Mickey Mantle would have a hard time playing. And I've talked to my dad
because he
about
would
it.
have 8 bottles of Jack in his stomach and 6 packs of cigarettes.
But that's what I'm saying. It was a different day. Baseball's evolved, this entire time. So I mean, it's it's okay to honor the past and everything. That's why we have a lot of docuseries and the Kim Burns documentary and all that. But we got to start honoring these guys' legacies that are still here today, like they are these other guys. Stop waiting till they're gone to sit here and putting them on these pillars. Because again, my era of baseball, growing up in the 2000s watching it, Ichiro was the man. Ichiro was the guy that when my dad was an all-star in 2007, we were sitting there watching Ichiro. We didn't care about our dad. We wanted to say what's up to Prince Fielder. We wanted to say what's up to Albert Pujols. We wanted to say what's up to Ichiro. We did not care about our dad. We were like, cool, man. Thanks for another trip. We did not understand what was going on, but
See you
watching
Dad.
Ichiro, yeah, Dad, he did. Hey, look, listen, man. I got you I got you designed in my hair. You should be fine. Be happy I got that. Ichiro though, but that's where I tell you,
You had
Ichiro
meat
was.
hook in your hair?
No, I had like DY21. I wish I had Meat Hook. I could have got like Meat Hook Jr. or something like that. With
Do you
like a
picture
nice
this that you could text us? Because I would love to see that.
I would have to text my old barber because me personally, no, I didn't like photos when I was a kid.
Who
I do.
knows?
I would have to actually. If you guys know how to use the Wayback Machine, there's a Washington Post article about me back in '07 that I can't find anymore, but I used to sit there and send to people because I was like, this is very unique. This was written about me when I was 7 and I completely forgot about this. And then my dad brought it up randomly when I was in high school and I showed all the girls. No guy you're talking to is in the Washington Post. So check yourself before you wreck yourself, shorty. I am just you see, you're talking here. I'm just here. Okay. I look around. I got to do this. Look. I look around, dude. I grab the belt and I just remind myself what I am. I'm just truly excellence, I wake up every morning, look in the mirror, tell myself my positive affirmations. I eat my Wheaties. Sometimes I mix it in with Cheerios, but I'll pat myself on the back. And yeah, man, like I said, 100% excellence. So my question to you guys, though, is what's going on with Jacob deGrom? What are we going to see there? Like, how many years is left on that Texas contract? And how many years do we look at him being injured before we call him the pitcher version of Anthony Rendon?
He's not.
You know what?
Accusations you're making.
You know what, dude? I was going to say something, but you called him the pitching Anthony Rendon. I feel like you got to go on that one.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
he's not. Like, you took a bag and you flat out were like, everything hurts. So, it is what it is. I don't think he's worthy of the money that he's getting. Until you can prove it, that you can stay healthy and, pitch more than 17 innings in a season and make more than Paul Skeens? Nah. I don't care. Listen, the peak of Jacob deGrom's performance, unheard of. In this day and age, those numbers won't be matched. They can't be. That was video game numbers. But the thing is, his video game crashed. The disc broke. The entire console failed. All memory of it is just out there on a memory card that's sitting in a dump. Dude, I don't think he'll ever hit even remotely close to what he was. And most importantly, I don't think that he will be able to live up to his contracts. Because he's going to get the Scherzer and Verlander treatment just because of what he's done in the past. So you will see that 15 plus mil a year for someone who has done things in the past. Rendon had 2 great seasons. Ended up getting a bag and a half. And has basically been a regular at an urgent care since then.
Interesting.
So, no. I don't care about deGrom anymore. I virtually never did because he was always the opposite of me.
When you talk about the prime, are you talking about the 15 and 10 with the 3.53? Are you talking about the 14 and 8 with a 2.54? The 10 and 9 with a 1.70? Or this
That's
11
insane.
and 8 with the the 10 and 9?
Could you imagine how much better that win-loss record would be if the Mets gave him any bit of goddamn run support?
That was a Cy Young winning.
Like, the dude had an ERA under 2 and finished 10 and 9 because he could not get an ounce of run support.
I think he had like 11 starts that season where he got 1 run or less.
Like, that's insane, dude.
Video game numbers. It's when you're really good at pitching, but you suck at hitting.
Yeah, I mean that just sucks to suck then, I guess, because I mean you can have that low of an ERA, but that win-loss record's still atrocious.
I don't give a
So,
shit about win-loss.
No.
I mean, I don't know how you have that low of an ERA and you still have 9 losses. So that's kind of where I'm like.
Because he lost like
Yeah.
five of those 9
No.
games, 1-0.
He would literally lose games like 1-0.
Still giving up a run, doggy. Like, I mean, still, like,
Okay, well,
It's insane.
then take away half of Kershaw's like accolades, take away half of CC's accolades because they didn't deserve to win every game. Jacob DeGrom, you give up 1 run, any era, you give up 1 run, you deserve to win that game.
all I'm saying is, I mean, it's very hard to. I've never been a DeGrom fan. Never been a DeGrom fan. Always has awkward stats to where nothing makes sense, and you have people that try to defend it, and like,
That's because the Mets will always met.
yeah, you can defend it as much as you want, brother. It's still it's just a shiny piece of shit. That's all it is.
Okay,
He's a shiny piece of shit. That's all he is.
then let's go off of the most recent Cy Young robbery. Corbin Burns over Zach Wheeler. In what, Jay, 2021?
Maybe.
I think it was
I'm
21.
not
Corbin
entirely sure.
Burns over Zach Wheeler. It was almost like 60 innings less, and he won that. Wheeler decimated him in almost every single category.
Yeah, where he went 11-5 at the 2.43. Yeah, no, I still don't like that either. I don't like that at all. Feel the same way. I mean, I
It's not even me being a Zach Wheeler homer.
no, it's
That
just
shouldn't
the
have
fact that
happened. That was the biggest snub.
I mean, I actually had a stat about this. I mean, 167 innings. If that's what wins you the Cy Young, dude. I just did a stat about who was it? Goose Goss throwing 141 innings. He had the best relief season for WAR, and 141 innings.
Yeah, because what reliever will ever throw 141 innings?
I don't know, but he was 25 off from this guy that won the Cy Young. So I mean, shit, we could have added
Honestly,
him in.
I get it.
25, and that's what I tell you. I mean, feel the same way about Corbin Burns. I mean, I feel the death of the Cy Young pitcher is absolutely pathetic because it's 5 and dive nowadays. I mean, I'm the type of dude that honors a pitcher that could go out there for a full 15 innings. Like, if Bro wants to go 15
You're
innings,
never going to honor a pitcher again then.
no, we're not. Yeah, well, why would I do that? I will. Again, that's what I'm saying. The starting pitcher is dying. That's a dying breed. I mean, the 2 pitchers that we've just talked about are 5 and dive pitchers. Blake Snell, 5 and dive. A lot of these guys, 5 and dive. So, I mean, there's no respect that I could really give them. It's just like, okay, they're existing in the realm of baseball. But, I mean, like I said earlier in the pod, it's evolution. What are you going to do? Just keep pushing forward with it. So that's kind of where I'm like, not much more to say about that. It's like,
That's all I have to say about that.
So, before we jump into final thoughts, Damon, I have a question for you. I don't know if it's a big ask or not, but what is the chance you can get Meat Hook on the pod right now? Because I have to put him on trial for something.
oh, that's like a big ask. He just got done with lessons and he's upstairs
Did he?
in bed. Yeah,
Okay.
so like
All right.
I would
All
have
right.
to get him
Well, then
out
I don't want to
and-
bother him. There needs to come a day where Meat Hook comes on the pod because I got to put him on trial for something. My man
What'd he
shared a reel on Instagram. I was dying laughing because I was like, I'm bringing this up, and I sue. This man shared a reel of the absolute shit kicking the Reds put on the Phillies back in 1999 when the Reds beat the Phillies 22-3. Paul Bird was pitching. Your dad had the best stat line on the entire Cincinnati Reds that day.
Did
And
he
I
really?
was dying. Yeah, your dad had the best stat line. Like, there were some that had a good game, but your dad went like 4 for 6 with like 4 RBIs. Just absolutely kicked the shit out of us.
So that was a whole team effort of beating our ass.
I just have to know where your dad got off boosting his ego like that. I was not alright, but I was like, man, if we can get him on the pod and I can bring this up to him, like, I just need to know what your pops was on taking Paul Bird deep like that.
Was it a home or away game for the Phillies?
We were home. So it was at Veterans
Probably got
Stadium.
Asses kicked at Veterans Stadium.
Dude,
Surprise.
I had to give him some terrible cheesesteaks. My dad had the
Paul
cheesesteak
Bird
record.
got lit up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all had to give him. He had the cheesesteak record. That's what I'm saying. He had the cheesesteak record. He set the cheesesteak. My dad my dad did a lot of things before it was cool. He did it when it was still like, hey man, you need to watch your weight. You know, nowadays you do what he did. People sitting there patting you on the back, talking about the inclusion and stuff like that. You know how much inclusion he had? Not a lot. They're talking about, you know, why you eat 11 of those. 11's a lot. You know,
Like, dude.
so that's what I'm telling you. They had nasty cheesesteaks. That's where I'm calling it. Because if he had the cheesesteak record and they put a whooping like that, y'all had to give him some bullshit food. It was something like that. Something's in the water. Y'all had that Flint, Michigan water. Y'all can't be serving the players that.
Whoa. That's hostile words.
Those are
What?
some hostile ass words, bro.
Flint, Michigan water, come on, man.
Hey, 22-3. That's an ass whooping, son. That's belt to ass. You done touch. You know what that ass whooping is? That's as bad as when me and my brother decided to go touch my dad's card collection when we were kids. Okay, that was one of the dumbest decisions I made. Okay, my dad just looked at us.
So, Damon, your dad's stat line from that day, he went 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. It looks like he had a home run and 2 doubles.
Oh hell
So-
yeah! Y'all gave him some bad cheesesteaks. That's what it
Your
was.
dad- Your dad put an ass whooping on us.
He came into town, was expecting some good Pats, some good Genos, and it was both ass. He was mad about it. He said, and then when he had one of them little tour guys, hold on, you got a lot of dip on your chip. And when he had a tour guide show him around the way to the hole in the wall spot, it was still booty cheeks. So he gathered around with the group and said, hey man, they ain't serve us no good food like they typically do. What's the problem? What did we do? And nobody had a viable answer for what's going on in the city of brotherly love because y'all was not sharing the brotherly love. So you know what they did? They went B2A. Translation, belt to ass. And that lets y'all know whenever the meat hook walks up in Philly, y'all gonna serve him the best of the best cheesesteaks. Okay? Why you think he came out the next time he was able to set the record? Because they say, hey, Meat Hook, if we could get you to not play and just eat the entire time, we defeated you. You ain't got to worry about a dude going 3 for 4, a homer, 2 doubles, and 4 RBIs, baby. I'm telling you right now.
So it's also worth bringing up that home run and that absolute ass kicking we took was the first of 3 straight games with a home run for your pops. He homered in the last game against the Phillies the next day and the first game against the Cubs. So your dad
shitty food put
your
him in a
dad
bad
decided to
mood.
open
Don't
up
do
a
it to
can
him.
of whoop ass and then not stop.
Shitty food put him in a bad mood. Don't do it to him. Hey, that gave him some bad. I come into y'all city and this is how y'all welcome me. This bullshit right here. Okay, bet. I'm gonna show y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna show up to that stadium. I'm gonna get my belt off. I'm just gonna start whooping ass, and y'all can't be mad when I start whooping ass. Y'all could have gave me a good. And it could have been something simple. It could have been
Like-
as good as simple as a burger or something. But that's what
Just
happens.
an absolute ass whooping.
Yeah, look at the hospitality. It's a real thing.
Well, when you and your pops come out for the wedding in 2026, I'll make sure to hook up a good cheesesteak for you guys.
There we go. Then look.
It won't be Pats or Geno's.
And that's
Fuck no. What
perfectly
the
fine.
fuck?
And you know, the fact that y'all both just said that, you know, we ain't ever got to visit them now. Y'all said that like disgustingly. Y'all are like, oh, that's like
Oh, it's
hot dog
horrible.
water, dog. Why are you going there?
That's like
But
one in Pats or Geno's is like going to the airport for the best of that city's food offerings.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
just like
much.
going to Miami Airport and getting a Cuban sandwich.
And being like, wow, this really sucks. It's like, yeah, because for the good shit, you actually have to go into the different parts of Miami to find out where the good shit is.
Exactly. So
That's how it
Pats and
works.
Geno's, they are tourist traps. That's it.
I will
Shout out
be
to the
honest
Travel
though,
Channel.
being drunk as shit. If someone drives to Pat's, I will get a Pat's cheesesteak.
Absolutely. You know why? Because I'm fat.
It's honestly the perfect drunk food. But if you're going there stone
Cheesesteak.
cold sober,
Hey, cheese.
and well, I would have to be in the area. But if I'm in the area, I'm like, yeah, I'm on Pat's. But
Oh, I'm taking Pats over Geno's.
stone cold sober, I'm not going to either of them. I'll just
No.
drive to Del Sandros. But that's here nor there.
Angelo's.
Jumping into final thoughts. Richie, we'll start with you. What do you got?
Really, this is pretty simple. Congrats to the Phillies for finally jumping into the international pool from the far East Coast. So good for them for signing Koyo Aoki to a minor league contract with a NRI. I mean, he's from the Hanshin Tigers. The dude has a pretty solid career. It's about time. It's about time. I think the most recent Asian pitcher that the Phillies had was Bruce Chen.
Fucking Bruce Chen.
I think that's about right. I mean, I know we had Tadahito Iguchi.
So
And So
Taguchi
Taguchi, too.
in 2008, the World Series run.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we've had any other of the Asian invasion.
Nah, because Chan Ho Park was Korean.
Are we talking Japanese or just Asian in general?
No, wait, I was talking Asian in general.
Yeah, okay, because
I don't know why he said that.
Okay, I just had to make sure. I was like, oh, whoa, time
I just perked back up to the screen and I went,
Well, no, because you were naming Japanese players for the Phillies, and I was like, and the first names that came to mind was Chan Ho
Bruce-
Park, but
Bruce Chen was not Japanese.
and I
Bruce
know
Chen,
Chan
I'm
Ho
pretty
Park
sure was Korean.
Chan Ho Park's from South Korea. Bruce Chen is from Panama.
Hey, pasta, homie? What?
From Panama.
Panama. All right. That one's a shocker. All right. But yeah, congrats to the Phillies for finally dipping their toe into the international pool of that part of the world. So, yeah, congrats, guys. I mean, we got Tadahito Iguchi from the White Sox in a trade.
I think the White Sox.
So Taguchi was a Cardinal. Bruce Chen was an Oriole prior or post the Phillies?
Pre he was Atlanta, and then post he was a Met.
I know he was an Oriole at one point.
That was the back end of his career.
Yeah, see? It's so hard to trust that the Japanese players that you spend a lot of money for, when they come to the majors, what's their longevity? How long is their career going to be? And on top of that, how effective will they be for X amount of time? Daisuke Matsuzaka. Ring a bell? Koji Uhara. Ring a bell? Kasuke Fukudome.
Yes. Just real quick about Bruce Chen, just so we don't get confused. He is from Panama, but his grandparents are of Chinese descent.
Oh, good to know.
Yes, not Japanese, not Korean either. Chinese.
As the Chinese say, "Shay shay," which is thank you.
I did not know that. Thank you.
Yes,
Hey, Shay.
Shit, man.
that's Italian.
Anyone that
Sorry, that's
tunes
French.
in, anyone that tunes in to Drunks Upon, I mean, listen, you get language lessons, you learn some baseball facts, and you figure out why Dimitri Young on September 4th, 1999 decided to shove it up the Phillies' ass. But hey, it's always fun here.
We do things here.
Damon, what you got?
I yield.
Honestly, man, I just hope we have a great 2 weeks. I hope Pete Alonso and Alex Bregman find a very nice home. Okay. I hope our guy Clayton Kershaw finds a lovely home. And when we rejoice in 2 weeks, have something great to talk about, Very excited for this season. Excited to see where a lot of these guys go. Do people get figured out? What's going to happen? A lot of these guys are going to be coming up on the top 100 prospect list. Who are we going to see that are just going to fall off the list within the next year or so? Who are the guys on that list that are going to be, the big awards? And yeah, I'm just excited, truly excited to see what happens with spring training coming around the corner.
Okay.
It's going to be at least 80 of the top 100 that don't matter in 2 years.
Well,
I'd say probably
prediction.
say about 40.
I like those early predictions. I'm going in the middle, cutting it in half, calling it 60.
Okay.
It's
All
fair.
right. Fuck
That's
it.
fair.
I'll take that. For my final thoughts, I have two of them. The one I'll start with, we didn't touch on it, and I'll be honest, I don't see a reason to. I think until the investigation is fully concluded, everything right now is assumptions. But everything going on with Mariano Rivera and his case about the abuse cover-up, like I said, I don't want to touch on it too much, but if what does come out is true, then
Someone did some touching.
obviously our respects and our condolences to the victim, and just hope everything gets sorted out. For my second final thought, something more uplifting, going back to Ichiro, and probably my all-time favorite quote from him. Chicks who dig home runs aren't the ones who appeal to me. I think there's sexiness in infield hits because they require technique. I'd rather impress the chicks with my technique than with my brute strength. Then, every now and then, just to show I can do that too, I might flirt a little by hitting one out. I mean, listen, anyone that had the privilege of watching him play, Ichiro hit the ball all over the field. It's just what he was doing. It was what he was good at. But when you saw Ichiro hit one out, they weren't like little wall scrapers. Like, these things were tanks off the bat. And
It's not that they weren't tanks. They were just extremely, extremely good exit velocity. And they made it over the wall. Not all of them were 400 feet.
no. I'm not saying like
All the time.
Like, I'm not saying they were going like 450 and like, oh, I didn't know he had that kind of power. No, it was one of those things where it was just like
The funny thing is, he did have that kind of power.
like the dude could do exactly what he wanted, but he just chose to do the shit that he enjoyed. He enjoyed just getting on goddamn base, and he was good at it. And obviously, he's a new Hall of Famer. Congratulations to him. Once again, congratulations to CC Sabathia, who turned down a $500,000 incentive because he needed an innings limit and decided to plunk the other team in retaliation for them hitting one of the Yankees. Shout out to Billy Wagner, former Philly. Obviously, I have a lot of respect for him. I'm
Having such a
hoping
good front butt.
I'm really hoping to go to Cooperstown this year for the Hall of Fame induction, and if I do, maybe we get a little Drunks on the Pond trip going. We'll get that sorted and figured out. But yeah, as always, Drunks on the Pond, episode 39. You know who it is. I'm Jay. That's Rich. That's Damon. Thank you guys so very much for tuning into this episode. It always means a ton. We love doing this shit with you guys. And please, make sure to follow us on Instagram. We're not on Twitter anymore because that kind of died off. TikTok's up in the air. So remember, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. We're always posting clips. And next time you see us, we'll be entering spring training. So welcome back, baseball. But Z, I need you to do me a favor, baby. Hit that music. It's time to get the fuck up out of here. Peace.